Okay, good morning. Just first of all, sporting the Tigers for Tatas t-shirt with the roar, WCCP. So shout out to Quack and all of y'all, Ben, everybody. Appreciate all the love. I think this is one of two. There's two different shirts that are being sold. So anybody wants to get a shirt, WCCP. FM.
TigersForTatas.com.
Okay, they got their own little deal. TigersForTatas.com, and you can get one of these great shirts. You got great shirt. And there's two of them, so really appreciate that. It's an awesome time of year, and breast cancer awareness game coming up next week against Virginia. So a lot of fun stuff. With the Roar this month, and really appreciate the support that they've given. And so anyway, but on to this game. I mean, excited to have another opportunity to just keep getting better. Wake Forest, it's typical Dave Clawson team. Well coached, play hard every snap, fundamentally sound, incredibly disciplined, challenging scheme that's well put together. And they got some playmakers, so there's really not much changed. They do a really good job, and starts offensively. Again, their scheme is unique. There's a lot of things that really challenge you from a discipline standpoint: communication, eyes. A lot of option type principles, and a bunch of shots. I mean, a bunch of shots. So you got to win competitive plays. Those of you that were with us up there a couple years ago, that was a tough one. We were very, very fortunate to win that game. We literally made one more play than they did. Got a lot of respect for Wake Forest. How well coached they are, how hard they play year in and year out. They're a tough challenge, and it was a tough challenge here last year. It was 10-6 in the fourth quarter. And we made just a few more plays in the fourth quarter, got the run game going a little bit, and was able to win the game. So, always a hard-fought battle, and don't expect anything different. Again, got a new quarterback this year. Kid's tough. He's old kid, 25 or so. I don't know. He's got a ton of experience. He's played a lot of football. That's very obvious when you watch him. He's not rattled. He's very poised. He's a big, he's 200 and almost 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, and he's a good runner. He's a very willing runner. He's not a runner looking to get down. He's a runner looking for the first down and more. So he's impressive when you watch him on tape. He makes a lot of throws. They always, every year we play Wake Forest, they are always one of the best receiver groups that we see every single year. They do a great job of coaching those guys. They're tough. They block, and they really understand their scheme. They really know how to play within the scheme, and especially the RPO game that they have. So nothing's different. They got a bunch of guys out there that can really run routes. They can get open. They finish on plays. Number two, Morin's been there for, forever. He's a really good football player, and he's already taken a punt return of the house too, but he's very, very crafty. They do a nice job. So get after you up front, physical there too. So again, a really good offense that knows what they're doing and has created some problems for us these last couple of years. And then over on the other side, defensively, a lot of these guys we've seen, but they're a penetrating defense. They move, they get off the ball, up the field guys. They give you a lot of different looks. They'll force you to put drives together. So you've got to, they'll force you to have to be patient and efficient. And then they'll also, challenge you. To have to make some competitive plays. But they really, same thing as the offense, they really understand their scheme. And they know how to execute their scheme. And they're just very well coached on both sides of the ball. One of the best coached teams that we play year in and year out. And so nothing really different. We've got to play well to have a chance to win. And honestly, that's we're looking to just continue to grow our team. I mean, I think, as I said last week, great teams win on the road. Well, great teams also grow, and they continue to get better. They continue to apply the lessons that come, weekly. And so, I want to see us be able to continue to grow our football team, clean up some execution, clean up some mistakes, build on some of the mistakes that we've learned from, and play a complete game. I think we've done that in spurts. We've been really, really good, but not consistent enough for 4 quarters. So we got a lot of room for improvement. But again, I'm proud of our guys, and looking forward to another great road opportunity this week up at Winston-Salem. Any questions?
I think on your radio show you're talking about windshield mentality and preaching that for 30 or 40 minutes in college football last weekend helped you do that. Do you actually show clips of Alabama, Vanderbilt, or do you talk about those games, or what do you do?
No, I mean, back in the old days you would, but now you don't have to show nothing because they all got it, right? They're telling me about it. Did you see that? Did you see this? I mean, I couldn't believe it when I didn't know anything about any of that until I got into the locker room, but yeah, as I said, college football did us a favor, because this is a week where, if you pay attention to what people say on the outside, they're going to be saying, hey, we're supposed to go win. This ain't a game of supposed to. This is a game of what you do. It's a game of performance. And that's why I always talk about. That's why I think we've been really consistent. We've created that windshield mentality for years and years and years and years. And, I think we're top 4 in the country in road wins since 2015. Or maybe top 3, and we're best in the country at home, for the last 13 years, and that's because you create consistency in your preparation. It can't matter, and that's hard. That's not an easy thing to establish, because it is hard. These are kids, and there's a lot going on the outside that can really distract you, and you got to show up and play every single week. And that's why we talk about playing to a standard. You don't play to an opponent. You don't play to a record. Like last week, hey, they were 1-4. Yeah, you get caught up in that, you're getting beat. I mean, what somebody says, and it's the other way too. You can't get caught up in when people. We've won a lot of games we weren't supposed to win. We've won a lot of those too. I've been on both sides of it. You got to block all of that out. And that's it's all about. Hey, we celebrate what happened, or we learn from whatever, good or bad. But man, you got to reset. When this is what you do, y'all are all going to write about what we do. I mean, you're going to report on what we do. You're going to talk about, good or bad, what we do. So let's focus on what we do, not what somebody says, not what somebody predicts, not what Let's lock in on what we can control. Monday, how we meet, how we practice. What we choose to allow in here. Is it adding value or taking away? These are all things that are challenging, but that's what it's always got to be about what's next. That's the only way you're going to create consistency. And honestly, that's what the best of the best. You have a great moment, that's great, but it's never really about that. It's always about what it takes to do it again. That's what you got to love. And you can't love it. Oh, if you're playing this opponent, or if you're playing at, this time, or we're wearing this uniform, or it's a game day, or any of that type of stuff. Man, if those external things motivate you, you're gonna be inconsistent. I mean, you got to be internally motivated day in and day out to just put your head down and do the work. All right, because that's what gets reflected on game day. It's the work that you put in, and again, this is a good football team. They can line up and beat anybody. And what college football showed everybody last week is just that. It's hard to win. It's hard to win. It's harder to win consistently, and and it's really hard to win when you're supposed to win. Because you got other teams that pay attention to all these things too, and everybody's got good coaches, and there's a lot of parity in college football. So, for us, man, it's Yeah, it's a big message. Coming off a really good win on the road. We're just 4-1. I mean, we ain't done nothing. I mean, we're just 4-1. That's it. All we've done is create some opportunity for ourselves, but we got a long way to go. We got to stay locked in and have a great day today, and just try to find a way to keep building some momentum.
Is that the type of things you were referring to, I guess maybe like a month ago when you said you were having to spend a lot of time reinstilling some of the foundational parts of this program?
Always do that. I always do that. I always, do that. But I do think that there's been some things with this team that, I've had a lot of opportunity because these guys, a lot of these guys haven't done some things that they want to do. And so if you want to do something you've never done, you got to do more than you've ever done. So, don't tell me you want to do something. Make sure your habits line up for what you want to do. It's your habits, it's your daily focus that it's got to be greater than what you want to do. And this team has given me some opportunity to teach some of that because, again, you don't have many guys here, maybe two, that have even been in a playoff. So, but these guys are eager. They're eager, and they're about the right things. We've had good preparation every single week. Again, we got great leadership. I lean on that. And we just gotta continue to have that daily focus and continue to learn and handle adversity in the game, handle success in the game, and just continue to create consistency, because that's what it's going to take for them to do what they say they want to do.
Mentioned on your TV coaches show, I think one of the starting defense to do a few things differently, like when they had a lead of 23-7, something like that. What do you want to see from the defense there when they're up, maybe y'all are 2 scores in? Yeah,
I thought we gave them a couple of big play opportunities that we didn't need to expose ourselves to. They're against the clock, and we just, I think, needed to probably be a little smarter in a couple of those situations and not expose ourselves to because really the only thing in that situation, they need big plays. They don't have time to just grind it out. So I think we put ourselves in, and really a couple of the calls were really good. We just didn't execute the technique the way we needed to execute the technique. And that's just awareness. That's football awareness. We were down there one year on like 3rd and 16 or something, and we gave up an 82-yard touchdown pass. I think that was 14. Put the game in overtime. On 3rd and 16, we're up there playing press man, and we give up an 82-yard touchdown pass. So, again, nothing wrong with the call, but understanding the technique and the situational awareness of what's going on in the game. Sometimes you get into games, you got all kind of great game plans, but we got to win the game. You got to respond to what's happening within the game and where we are situationally. So, but that's just coaching and teaching and guys having a little more savvy there.
I guess you have an expectation that Stefan Library or Sewell will be in pads, full contact this week?
Who was the first one?
Steph Island.
Oh, Steph Island. Both working their way back. They're both day to day and trending in a good direction. So I think we're in a good spot there.
Dabo, with Antonio Williams having a career-high performance on Saturday, how have you seen him really meet or exceed your expectations when you think about recruiting him when he was just a young little zero at Dutch Fork?
Young little zero. His mama will love that. He's always been a really skilled kid, and I think early on, he had some really good success early as a freshman, and I'm not sure that was great for him. Really, a lot of hard coaching with him, because I just didn't feel like that there's so much more there than what he did as a freshman. And I just think he had some growing up to do and really learning how to, be a complete player at the position, how to play hard all the time, how to really become a craftsman. And, man, and if you really pay attention to how I've talked about Antonio since January, this guy's he's been unbelievable. I mean, he struggled in mat drills his first year. It was bad. Bad. And it just, but that was his mindset. And, but he came back this past year, and, he crushed it. He was one of the best we had. He's one of the best leaders in the offseason. He became just, the kid wants coaching, and he's just a product of putting the work in and buying in to what you need to do. Yeah, he's good, but do you want to be great? Well, here's what it's going to take for you to be great. You're not 6'4", 215. You're gonna to maximize what you have. Here's what it's gonna take. And this kid has put the work in, man. He plays fast. He is really, really grown with his fundamentals and his technique and just his savvy, his knowledge, his understanding of the game, his understanding of route running, how to influence guys, his breakpoint technique, understanding defense, how to manipulate that, his release technique. He's on his way to being a pro. He's a very, very good football player. He's got natural ball skills. He's very confident, but confidence comes from, consistently putting the work in and paying the price, and he's done that. And then what I'm most proud of is the type of leader he's become. This kid has really become a great leader in that room, and a guy that everybody respects and looks to. So I'm really pleased. He's come. That's the way it should be. You should get better. And if you're about the right things, you got talent and you've got the work ethic with it, you'll get better. And he's just much more of a complete player than he's ever been at any time since he's been here. Obviously, last year he was pretty much done by game 3, and I think that was good for him. I think that was we don't like bad stuff that happens, but I think it probably gave him a little deeper appreciation, and I think he's just playing with a different mentality. So I'm really proud of him. He's tough as they come. He is tough. He's a tough competitor. He's really taken ownership of the punt return game. That's something that he's taken a lot of pride in, and and that's because that's going to be a part of his game as he moves forward too in his career. He's got to be able to bring a little bit of all of that all-purpose type stuff, to his game. So he's a heck of a player. He'd play for anybody, and glad we got him. And I'm proud of his development. And but there's more there. He's still got more to do.
With Antonio, you mentioned the early success maybe not being great for him. He and Tyler kind of were thrust into those roles because of who wasn't there and all the injuries and stuff as freshmen. With TJ and Bryant, because you have more guys available, does that impact how you're able to teach them and maybe get them on a better path?
Yes, absolutely. No question. That's the way it should be, honestly. If your freshmen are your starters every year, it's probably not good. You want to have some good players. You want to have. It's not that they can't be great players as freshmen. T.J. Parker was a great player as a freshman, but he had some pretty good mentors and guys in that D-line with him that were able to help him as well. And I think we've got a really good room. We got a lot of guys that can make plays, and you're really seeing that every week. Every week, and you mentioned Tyler Brown. Heck, he's AWOL, right? Y'all nobody even asked me about Tyler Brown, but y'all will eventually if we can ever get him healthy. He's a great player, but everything kind of went good for him last year, and he's just been really battling getting back. And hopefully he can really truly have a full week of practice this week and take another step forward. And but it's just a good room, man, and they're selfless. They're all playing together. We got Adam back, which is amazing, and he was ready to go last week. I was really nervous about it, but he was adamant to play, but I'm glad we didn't need him. And so we've just got really good leadership there. We've got a bunch of guys that can play. They really like each other. I think we've got 7 guys with TJ now that can start. And that's kind of how we look at that group. And there's a lot of competition. Who's going to run out there first and all that stuff. And then we've got some flexibility on how we can position guys and move guys. Antonio can play anywhere. We got a few of those guys that can play anywhere, and then we got kind of Wesco and TJ that we're like, okay, here's where you are, and we're able to to bring them at a good, healthy pace. And I think that's important for their development and for their future. So it's a again, good situation, good room with good depth that has been a couple years in the works. And, I'm thankful that we've been able to, keep them all together and stay relatively healthy.